I think you need to put in a call to 50 Cent and tell him leave Joe Budden alone, because apparently Joe Budden was chased out of a strip club by 50's goons.
Did 50 say that?
Joe Budden basically acknowledged that on the most recent episode of his podcast.
So he's assuming they're 50's goons.
Okay, 50 posted and basically said something about Joe Budden getting chased out of a club called Mermaids, I believe. I think it's in Queens or Brooklyn or something. He called him out for it. Everybody thought Joe was not going to respond to it, but then Joe on his podcast today, shout out to Danny from the Stop. I wouldn't know this if it wasn't for him, but he basically played a clip from his podcast in which Joe more or less admitted and acknowledged that he was essentially chased out of the strip club and maybe changing his tune.
Listen, if Joe admitted he was chased out of the strip club, that's one thing. But to say there were 50's goons is another thing.
Men that 50 Cent to deal with it. Who knows? It could have been 50 himself on the way.
He might know him. You know what I'm saying? But that don't make them his goons. What are y'all trying to do? Build a case on 50?
I mean, it feels like 50 kind of acknowledged it. Joe kind of acknowledged it. It doesn't really feel like we're doing much to build a case.
But I don't think they wanted to get him, because these days when you're getting chased, there's only one thing that gets the people pursuing you off of you.
Death.
You got to have something to back them up. If somebody chasing you and they want to get you, either they just BSing in front like they want to do something to you, want to see you run, or you did something in defense to bag them up enough so you can get away.
I don't want to tell Joe Budden how he should be moving around, but I think Joe Budden needs to have personal armed security with him at any given time. There should not be an option that somebody can just show up to a club and chase you out of there.
Joe's not going to do that.
Keep security with him? I mean, I know he has security at least some of the time. I
don't believe Joe moves around with security.
I've seen videos of him moving around with security.
I've seen Joe. They got videos of Joe out eating with his chick and people walking up.
No, that's true too. And when I went to do his podcast, it was like regular ass apartment in Queens, and it was just the basement. There was no security. They were acting like they weren't famous.
Yeah, I think Joe was like on some whatever. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Can he summon security? Definitely can. Why he's not? I don't know. Maybe he's trying to get away from that element and keep it out his mouth.
He was also making fun of me for having security when I was in New York that time.
Who was?
Joe.
Yeah, well, that's because Joe ain't. Joe should have security.
He just switched it up.
He should, but he's not, because he's Joe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Joe's like, do what you gonna do.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel too.
And I think,
not in Chicago,
don't get it wrong,
here.
Joe got some people that love him, that'll move with him, but I really think Joe, over the last decade or so, been kind of like moving away from dealing with that element of it.
Yeah.
And the 50 Cent side of it is really not a threat, because 50's a businessman, he's a mogul, he's gonna talk his shit.
And keep in mind, this is
but I don't think 50's sending nobody to get Joe.
This is all because Joe said that 50 needs to do therapy. Which is not the most aggressive thing to respond with deadly violence to,
Telling a black man he need to do some therapy is crazy.
Well, posting about another man dying and saying that you're smoking on him for 50, that is kind of crazy. Like, that is, I don't think that Joe saying that is so outrageous. And I understand why he did it, and I don't hold it against 50, but I mean, that's pretty wild behavior.
That's crazy.
If I told my therapist, hey, this guy I hate died, and so I posted about it to my, 20 million Instagram followers, I think she would probably say that, like, maybe we should double up this week, do two sessions. Therapy might be necessary for anyone who's doing that. And I understand he tried to get you killed. So I get it. For sure, if somebody tried to get me killed and they died, I would probably be having fun with it privately. I don't think I would do it on Instagram. What are you reading? You okay?
Yeah, looking at the game tour. European tour.
Okay.
March 1st through April 6th.
Do you want to wrap this up by going through Academics' top media personalities?
Suge Knight and Snoop Dogg. He's definitely jealous of Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Did you see that? So Ray J had a Vlad clip, and Suge called in and basically proceeds to like rant for 5 to 10 minutes, calling Snoop a bitch, all this other shit. It's pretty hard to even understand what point he's trying to get across, honestly. He just sounded like a madman.
It's been a lot of things people don't know. right? Before Suge even went to jail, him and Snoop ran into each other in Vegas.
Okay.
Snoop had a security with him. Suge was by himself. Snoop told the security, "Now fall back, let me holler at you." And he said, "I'm finna check in, do my thing. I'm gonna come to your room. Give me your room number." Snoop went to Suge's room and sat there for like an hour, 2 hours. Chopped it up with him, kicked it with him, no problems. Since he's been gone, he has conversation with him. They even reached out to Snoop and asked him what they would charge to clear some music if Suge needed to use it for, you know, whatever he wanted to do. Snoop, out of respect, said, "I'm not gonna charge you nothing." Right? It's love. So it's crazy. It's like 1 minute, one-on-one, you this way. And then when you get in front of people, when the light is on you, you act like it's a whole nother way. That's the crazy part about it. You can't really find no clips of Snoop Dogg being disrespectful. You'll hear him say, "I love Suge. Suge got me started. Suge put me in the game." Regardless of what it was, you know what I mean? You know, he was there for me at times I needed him to be. So I don't understand why all of a sudden he'd jump on that platform. He was mad because I got Ray J that interview. He wanted Vlad to pay him a certain amount of money. Vlad said, "This all I'm going to pay you. This all you worth." You know how bro is. And I guess he was upset that Ray J was up there and the topic of Death Row came up. Ray J could talk about Death Row. The times he was there, he was definitely around. He could talk about owning your rights. I got the contract. He still owns them today. He about the 10th, 11th person in line, but he owns them. You signed them over. Signed them over.
When I was watching that clip, I was like, if this was me, I would never talk to this person again. Like, the Suge just seemed like he had no respect for Ray J. He's just not communicating in any way that made me feel as if I were Ray J, that I would want to continue this relationship. And then Ray J speaks about him in glowing terms and says, "That's the homie.
That's it.